When was the last time someone told you you could win for free? All the coaching programs and mentorship programs in wholesale real estate tell you that you got to spend 10, 20, $30,000 in marketing just to get high quality leads. I want you to throw that all out the window because I'm going to show you how to find high quality leads, how to find sellers that are motivated to sell their properties to you today, and ultimately how to do this for free. In all reality, the best list possible to call for wholesale real estate is ironically for free. These lists include pre-foreclosure lists, divorces, and probates. And all three of those type of records are actually provided to you by your county or courthouse. Some courthouses provide this information for free online, or unfortunately, some people haven't had the online system yet. And you have to go get it in person in the office. Luckily for us in Houston, Texas, it's actually all online. And then I'm going to actually walk you through step by step how to pull these records and how to skip trace, which is finding the homeowner and ultimately finding a way to get a contract on. We can type in the Google chat Houston County Records, and you can see that it's the first link. You can scroll down, you're going to see search records, marriage, license, probate, county civil, real property, maps, condos, right? There's a whole list, all these different things, foreclosures, right? All these different county records here. So if probate is one of the holy trinity, right? So probate, divorces, and foreclosure is our three main record sources. If you guys don't know what a probate is, it's the process when someone unfortunately passes away, and it's a court system process that kind of figures out who the inheritance is going to be, right? So if you don't have the property in a trust, it has to go through probate court, and that's the only way to kind of adjudicate all this stuff. And then when that probate gets filed, it's on county record, and we're able to reach out to the seller and see if they need any help or assistance or just want to sell their property, right? Now, probates, it is the longest, one of the longest processes for a deal, right? Because a foreclosure, think about it. Once they get an auction date, they got 30 days or less to decide, right? If they're going to sell or not. They're either going to lose the house or they're going to sell it, right? Or they're going to do some loan modification to try to keep it. A probate process can take months, right? Once the probate process starts, depending on how many inheritance there are in the process, if they're fighting, if they're agreeing, disagreeing, whatever it may be, some probate deals can take 6 to 7 months. Now, because of that time-consuming, tedious process, this is an opportunity to make the biggest checks because you have the ability to provide the most value, right? There's a ton of sellers out there or homeowners that are inheriting these properties that one, they don't know the process. Two, they don't want to deal with the process. And three, sometimes these people don't even know that they're getting a property inherited to them, right? Like they can have a long lost uncle that loved them that didn't even know, and they get a mail in the letter saying like, "Hey, you're going to take over this property in Houston, and you live in Florida," right? So that's the value that we kind of bring to them. We kind of help them walk through the process, and then ultimately we can buy their house slash assign the property, right? That's what we get paid for. So let's take a look. So let's start with probate here. In Houston, Texas, there's a whole bunch of different courts because it's such a big city. Let's just do the ones that are open right now. So let's go from December 2024 to today, essentially. These are all the open probate records, and you're just going to click search. So you're going to see all these different people here, right? So now you see all these different files here, right? There's so many different types of files here, right? And this is where it gets really time consuming because you need either yourself, a virtual assistant to either go through all these and to see, who's who in the zoo, right? So app for independent administration within Airship. So let's click on this, right? There's so many different types. But let's click on this. It shows that they're trying to see who the administrator is and the state of this person. So Brenda Fisher is the one who passed away. This is an open thing. This is the judge that's overseeing everything. So they're trying to see who's going to be the heir of this property. So we can click on parties, who the parties are. So like I said before, this is the person who passed away. And then this person is the person that wants to apply and see if they're going to be the heir of the property. So this is the person that I would actually skip trace, right? And try to call them. But you also, here's the thing with probates too, right? Probates is all different assets that the person's owned. So it may not have property attached to it, right? So that's a big thing as well that you have to look into. So this one says at for probate or will as muniment of title. So let's take a look at this as well. There's an estate attached to this. Same thing, right? She passed away. This is the applicant, so this is the same last name. So that means someone is someone's related to this person. So that's usually an inheritance, right? You can kind of see what's going on here, who to skip trace, who to talk to. That's how you kind of go through these records, right? So as you can see, it could be extremely time consuming to do this process. However, there are a lot of different, files in here that you have to kind of scrub through. And you got to see, who has what, right? So this is in a state, right? So anything in Indian state of Robert Nolan Bright, in the state of David Amaya Mata, these are all different people with properties or something that's getting passed over. Okay, now let's go through foreclosures because it's pretty much the same process, but I think it's going to be a little easier because you know that there's probably a property attached to it, right? So let's start with 2025. Let's look for a March of 2025. So that's about a month from now. So all these properties are getting sold in the next month. And let's see if they go even farther. So let's look at April. Okay, so these are April. So we got some time on these, right? So we have about a 1.5 month to go. You open this up and there's a 3-letter document. It tells you the property, right? So 13030 Hawkins Bend. So if you use a free service called PropWire, there's other services that you should pay for, but if you're just starting out, you don't necessarily have to do this, but I just want to show you what the process is. So let's say you get 13030 Hawkins Bend. So this is the property, Houston, Texas. You're gonna see like data. There's some, loans in here. It's a FHA loan, all this stuff, right? You can look at the owner here. This is the owner right here, Antonio D. Hudson. You can skip trace this person, or you can go on True People Search, and you can actually skip trace this owner and give him a call, right? So this is a pretty simple process. We see that the deed of trust or contract lien he bought in 2015, it got recorded in 2015, and also shows who the owner is here. So we just confirmed that, right? Antonio, right? So same person, and then he has been paying. So he has an original loan amount of 329,000, and this is the mortgage company that did it, and they're the ones that are filing this foreclosure.